Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lizzie, and for today's video, as you read from the title, I'm going to be talking about the highest rated films on Rotten Tomatoes that I am not a fan of. Now, this is not an original idea by me. This is actually an idea that I got from Sarah, aka PossessedbyHorror. If you are subscribed to her, you should be if you aren't, but if you're subscribed to her, she did this video. She also did another video, which I have done as well, where she talked about the lowest rated films on Rotten Tomatoes that she loves. So I will leave links to both of her videos and to the one I've previously done, and I thought that it would be fun to do this one. I hope she doesn't mind me copying these ideas, because I really like these, and I liked her picks, and so I thought it would be fun to do it for myself as well. So on Rotten Tomatoes, you can change the percentage range. So I just did it from 80 to 100 just to get a good range of films, but not like an overwhelming amount. And there were still quite a lot to choose from, but I just found kind of 5 films that, because there are a lot of films on that list that I do love, so I was able to find 5 that I am not a fan of, and so those are the ones we are going to be talking about today, and I'm going to give you guys the percentage on those films per what it says on Rotten Tomatoes, and just a little information about them. So for starters, the first one that we're going to be talking about is It Comes at Night. I reviewed this one for a 31 Days of Horror, and I didn't hate this one, but just wasn't a big fan of it. This is a film about a family stuck in a post-apocalyptic world. This is definitely a film that got a lot of flack when the trailer hit for being very misleading, and I feel like that still holds. The trailer and even the title for this film, I feel like, are very misleading. You're kind of waiting for something that unfortunately never comes, and I think that's just why I ended up not being a fan of this one. But it stands at a very high 88%, which doesn't surprise me, because part of the reason I did initially watch this one is because I felt like a lot of people still really enjoyed the film. I feel like it's very hyped in the horror community, and I just, unfortunately, was disappointed, was not a fan of it. The second one on the list is one that I've been pretty vocal about not being a fan about. I'm pretty sure I reviewed this one as well, and that is, if I've reviewed any of them, I'll leave links in the description as well, but that is The Witch, or Vitch, or however you pronounce it. This is a film that I feel like is so overhyped within the horror community. I'm sure most of you know what this film is about, or have at least heard about it. It does have a 90%, not a complete 100, but still very far up there on Rotten Tomatoes, and I feel like that makes sense given how hyped this film is within the horror community. But for me, I was just not a fan of this film, and you can watch that full review to get all of the reasons why, but I don't love this one. It felt kind of boring to me, basically. Now, the third pick is another film that I've been pretty vocal about not being a huge fan of. I don't believe that I've reviewed this one, and I have thought about giving it a second chance, so let me know if you think I should, but that is The Babadook. Now, this is another film that I know a lot of people in the horror community love. I think that there are certain people, I think that there are people who connect with this film. I definitely understand, you know, if you've gone through something and have lost someone, you can definitely very much connect with this film. I personally didn't. Not to say that I haven't been through things, I just personally did not connect with this film upon the first watch. I found the characters to be quite annoying, and just wasn't a fan of the story plot or the film just in general. But like I said, I would like to give this one a second chance, so if you guys think that I should, let me know. This one is sitting at pretty high. It is at a 98% on there, which again doesn't surprise me, because I do feel like this is a very well loved film within the horror community. I'm just in the minority on this one. Now, for the fourth film, it's another one that you guys might be pretty surprised. I feel like all of the films on this list most people like. I talked about this one fairly recent. I did it for 101 days, and that is A Tale of Two Sisters. Now, this is another film that maybe I should give a second chance. I just, again, was not a fan of this one. It felt a little too long and a little too all over the place for me. And this one is sitting at, actually, surprisingly, a lower percentage to the last two. It is at 85. I kind of expected this one to be higher because, again, very hyped within the horror community. I just personally did not jam with this one. And it's not that I have anything against Korean or Asian horror in general. There's actually quite a few that I like. There were quite a few that I reviewed during 101 days that I did enjoy. But again, this one was just one that I did not connect with. So again, if you think that I should maybe sit down and give it a second chance, let me know. If there's any of you that also feel that way, let me know as well. Just, again, did not connect with this one. This next film, you guys may or may not be aware of. It's a pretty old horror film. I did also watch this one for 101 days. I also talked about it in a video that I did in a collaboration with Horror Addicts, where I talked about where we both made our list of bad horror films that should have a remake, and that is Black Sunday. Now, this film, there is also another film that goes along the same storylines as this one. I'll pop up the title. They are both based off of a book, I believe, titled Black Sunday. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong, but I loved the idea of both of these films, but I did not like the execution, and I got some flack for that in my comment section from some people, but you know, it's my channel and it's my opinion. I was just not a big fan of Black Sunday. I thought that, and it wasn't the fact that it was an old film, because there were a lot of films that I reviewed during 101 days that I very much enjoyed. This was just not one of them. And this one is actually sitting at a 86%, so 1% higher than the previous one, but not the highest on the list. It's actually the second lowest. And yeah, just again, not a big fan of this film. So yeah, that is my list. I know it's kind of short, but surprisingly, that was really kind of the only ones I found. There were a lot in that percentage bracket that I actually really enjoyed, so I was pleasantly surprised by that. And there were definitely, I think, more movies on the list for films that were low rated that I really enjoyed. So again, make sure to check that out, and again, make sure to check out Sarah's videos. The links to all of that will be in the description. I hope that you did enjoy this. Let me know maybe some of yours. It's pretty easy if you just go onto Rotten Tomatoes. You can browse by genre, so you can put in horror, and like I said, you can change the percentage. Let me know if any of these you feel the same way about as well. I hope that you did enjoy this. If you did, please do give it a big old thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more horror related content, and I will see you guys again later with another video. Bye.